The massive creature stirred in its reinforced containment chamber. 8 meters of crystalline scales and predatory intelligence that had once ruled the nightmare world of Kethvar Prime. The Zephyrian diplomats maintained their composure behind energy shields, while the insectoid hive mind representatives chittered nervously in their biosuits. Only the 2 humans, Alexander Chen and Nora Rodriguez, stood without protective barriers, observing the ancient war beast with curious fascination. The trials of worthiness have claimed 17 species champions over the past century, announced High Arbitrator Velthus, his 6 arms gesturing toward the creature. The Kethvari war beast recognizes only true apex predators. It has rejected every candidate for the Galactic Council's military leadership position. Alexander exchanged a glance with Nora. As humanity's newest representatives to the Council, they had volunteered for this trial despite warnings from every other species present. The position of Supreme Military Coordinator would grant humanity significant influence in the galaxy's defense protocols, if they could prove themselves worthy. The war beast's massive head turned toward the assembled delegates, its cluster of violet eyes scanning each species with ancient calculating intelligence. When its gaze fell upon the humans, something changed. The creature's posture shifted, and a low, rumbling sound emerged from its throat. Not quite a growl, but something deeper, more primal. Fascinating, Nora murmured, her xenobiologist training kicking in. Look at its neural crest, it's flaring. That's a recognition pattern. The Zephyrian diplomat Telnara fluttered her translucent wings anxiously. Impossible. The beast has shown no such response to any species. Our own champions possessed superior reflexes, enhanced combat modifications, and centuries of battle experience. Alexander stepped forward, ignoring the concerned chittering from the hive mind delegation. Maybe that's the problem. You've been sending warriors to face a war beast, but what if it's not looking for the strongest fighter? The creature's eyes tracked Alexander's movement with laser focus. Suddenly, it reared back and released a bone-rattling roar that sent several delegates scrambling for additional cover. But instead of retreating, Alexander held his ground and did something that shocked everyone present. He roared back. The sound that emerged from his human throat was nothing compared to the war beast's thunderous call, yet the effect was immediate. The creature fell silent, its massive head tilting in what could only be described as curiosity. The beast responds to dominance displays from true predators, Nora observed, moving to stand beside Alexander. Every other species that faced it came with weapons, armor, defensive systems. They came as prey trying to appear dangerous. High Arbitrator Velthus extended his sensory fronds nervously. The humans show no fear pheromones. This is unprecedented. The war beast began to move, its massive form flowing with surprising grace despite its size. It approached the edge of its containment field, bringing its head down to Alexander's eye level. The energy barrier was all that separated predator from human, yet Alexander didn't flinch. Instead, he pressed his palm against the barrier directly opposite the creature's largest central eye. The war beast rumbled again, this time in a tone that sounded almost approving. "Your species confuses us," chittered the hive mind prime speaker. "Humans possess no natural weapons, no enhanced reflexes, no protective carapaces. By all biological metrics, you should be prey animals." Nora smiled grimly. "That's where you're wrong. We're not apex predators because we have claws or fangs. We're apex predators because we never stop hunting. We chase our prey until it collapses from exhaustion. We adapt to any environment. We turn everything we encounter into a weapon or a tool." The war beast suddenly pressed its massive head against the barrier, aligning its central eye with Alexander's palm. A series of complex harmonic tones emerged from its throat, sounds that the universal translators struggled to process. "It's singing?" Telnara whispered in amazement. "Not singing," Alexander realized, his voice filled with wonder. "It's testing our neural patterns through harmonic resonance. It wants to understand how we think." The process continued for several minutes, with the creature's songs growing more complex, and Alexander somehow responding with his own vocalizations. Despite having no apparent musical training, he seemed instinctively able to match the war beast's tones. Finally, the creature stepped back and did something that left the entire assembly speechless. It lowered its massive head in what could only be interpreted as a bow of recognition. High Arbitrator Velthus checked his bio readings 3 times before speaking. The war beast has accepted the human as its equal. In 5,000 years of recorded history, this has never occurred. Because you never sent someone from a true Deathworld, Nora explained. Earth didn't just produce survivors. It produced a species that thrives on challenge. We don't just adapt to hostile environments. We seek them out. We don't just survive disasters. We learn from them and become stronger. The war beast approached the barrier once more, this time focusing on Nora. It repeated the harmonic testing process, and like Alexander, she found herself able to respond naturally to the creature's calls. When the second recognition bow came, the chamber erupted in excited chatter from the various delegations. 2 alphas from one species, mused High Arbitrator Velthus. The beast acknowledges both humans as worthy pack leaders. Alexander looked at Nora, then at the massive creature that had somehow recognized something fundamental about human nature. We accept the position of Supreme Military Coordinators, he announced. Both of us. The Council has never had co-leaders, protested Telnara. Then it's time for a change, Nora replied firmly. The war beast didn't choose us because we're the strongest or the fastest. It chose us because we understand what it means to be forged by a world that never stops trying to kill you. The war beast released one final, triumphant roar. Not a challenge this time, but a welcome. For the first time in centuries, it had found beings that truly understood the nature of survival. As the containment field was lowered and the ancient creature stepped forward to formally acknowledge its new pack leaders, the galaxy's power structure shifted forever. Humanity had proven that sometimes being from a death world wasn't a disadvantage. It was the ultimate qualification for leadership in a hostile universe. The war beast tested them all but recognized only the humans as true Deathworld alphas.